like your website looks fine, but just kind of like it doesn't really feel like you. Or worse, it looks like everyone else. One of the biggest reasons websites fall flat is because they're missing a clear brand identity. That's where the brand kit can help you. Brand kit is just a simple guide that lays out your business overall style. It gives your design a backbone, so everything feels intentional and cohesive instead of randomly thrown together. This simple document usually includes elements of your brand identity such as logo, fonts, colors, images, shapes, and pattern, or any custom graphics, background texture, icons, or layout elements that are part of your visual branding. You don't need a giant PDF or anything fancy. You can simply use a Canva. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how I take a brand kit and turn it into a full website, step by step. For the purpose of this tutorial, I'm just going to use a brand kit from Canva. Type in the brand board and it's going to give you a lot of different options with a ready-to-use branding. It has the logo, the fonts, the colors, the images, the graphics that you can implement. You can take an inspiration from brand boards available in Canva to understand what kind of elements could be present. I have settled on this brand kit. Calm, minimal design choices. This design is for yoga studio. I like the soft blush and muted greens with warm clay accent. I think it's gonna work out perfectly on our website. I like how simple the logo is. You don't need a complex logo for your brand to look elevated and high-end. Like the minimal icons and waves, keep it soft and modern. Next, let's pick a website template. You can browse by different categories to find layout that fits the best for your business. For yoga studio, I'm gonna explore either professional services or health and wellness. All of the templates are designed for service providers, so you can get a layout that actually works for yoga studio, not a generic design that you have to fix later. And the first thing I'm gonna do is upload a logo. I think I want the logo to take a little bit more space, so I'm gonna expand it just a little bit. The next step, let's customize the color palette for our brand. This off-white color is going to be our primary base color. Copy this code, click Style, Colors, edit the palette. Finish editing the color palette. Usually the first two colors are going to be the lightest colors. The middle one is going to be an accent color. This color is going to be assigned as a button color, as you can see on majority of the sections. And the last two colors are the dark colors. I think that I want this header, the navigation, to be a different color. In Squarespace, you have a few different variations. You can use a solid color, a gradient, or adaptive. And adaptive, it means that it will adopt the color that this section below is using. So for example, if this is the first section, and if this section is using a light colors, or wherever the color on the background is, the navigation is going to adopt that color. In my case, I want to go with the solid color, meaning the navigation is going to stay the same with the color I will pick. And I will use this pinkish color. Next, we need to adjust fonts. Go to Font tab in Squarespace. First, the headings. It seems like the heading font is DM Sans. Let's see if Squarespace has this font. Hover over the name and paste it. The Squarespace actually does have this font available to us. Next, I want to adjust the spacing. I do not like spacing between the letters. Okay, that is better. And I want to reduce the size of the font. I think this looks better to me. There's headings, paragraphs, buttons, and this third option. I'm just gonna adjust this one. I want to replicate this font style. I'm gonna use DM Sans, and I'm gonna remove the italicized version. Select the uppercase. This should be a little heavier, so 500. 600 looks good. And the last thing I want to adjust is the buttons. I'm not gonna adjust the font style of the buttons. but I will adjust the shape. Squarespace, you can adjust everything, but I would, for example, you don't really need to adjust the spacing or the size of the paragraph text. In Squarespace, you can adjust everything, but you don't really need to if you're using a template. The paragraph text and a button size in this template and the rest of the templates already set to clean, readable defaults that work well across devices. Instead of changing everything and making more work for yourself, just update your headings to reflect your brand. That's where you can really set the tone and utilize typography strategically by using a bold or minimal or friendly or elegant high-end font that will transform the look and feel of your site. And for the buttons, I have this idea. While looking at this color palette, I like the outline, the square corners. I feel like we can implement that for our buttons. Here under the shape, we will adjust it to square corners and add an outline of 1 pixel. Save that, and let's adjust the color of this section. Navigate to colors. Here under the lightest one, I want to adjust the color of this button. And this is our primary button. I decided we're gonna have a pink button with a black outline and a black text. Now I'm gonna remove this. And for this area, I will use this copy. I was looking at this line over here, and I feel like we can also implement the line. Under the add block, you can find the line block, and we can position it from different angle. I will use, instead of this option for the style of font, I'm gonna use it heading 1, and I'm just gonna make it all uppercase. Because I do not want to adjust the headings to be uppercase on the rest of the headings, I'm just gonna type out everything uppercase. But in Squarespace, if you want every heading to be uppercase, there is a setting you can adjust. Here, the text transform, you can select the option you want. But again, I only wanted to use it for one particular headline. By toggling this on, it's gonna make all the headings we will ever use on the website to be uppercase. And I want this to be bolder, and I will use the scale up. And I'm gonna scale this a little more. Good. I want this to be more readable. I'm gonna highlight this part to make it stand out more. I'm gonna use our accent color. Okay, this is our header. Next, let's proceed to this 3 columns. We can utilize this 3 column section in many different ways. It could be a class, styles or types, who is it for, before you arrive, etc. Any information that will fit into these 3 columns. A brand style guide has this very cute icon. You can utilize this icon to add a little bit more interest to visual design of our website. I have duplicated this icon in every color of our brand. Instead of these circles, let's try to upload those colors. I'm going to upload. And for the background image, let's replace it with this image that was used in this style guide. For the about section, I really like this pattern, and I feel like we can utilize it in our design as well. And I'm gonna utilize this shape. So I'm gonna duplicate this shape in my design. This is our image. We download it with a transparent background. For the background, we will use the pattern. This pattern. Automatically, it adds this overlay, so we just have to remove it. And instead of this image, we will add the one we just created. For this section, I feel like we need to change the color of this button because it's pink on pink, so I want it to stand out more because we're already using the primary button over here, so we want to keep it. And for this one, I'm gonna assign a secondary button and just change it in the style. The secondary button still has rounded shapes. Change that to square with an outline. A secondary button, I want it to be this green color. The other thing that we can replicate, because we're using this line element here, we can replicate the same combination of elements instead of this boring about. Minimize this and just paste this element. Okay, there was about our studio, looking great. And for the color, I'm gonna select the same off-white color we've been using so far, and I'm gonna replicate the same style of this headline for our services. And we also want to change this section color to be this. Perfect. The only thing I want to actually change here, I think instead of white on background, maybe I try using pink. Let's see how it's gonna look if we change it to pink. Adjust the style, and let's find this color theme, which is lightest one. Click into this section and it's going to display what elements are present. Card background is currently set to white. What if we change it to pink? Oh, I like this much better. We can replace all of these images, but for now I'm just going to keep them as is. Now we're proceeding. We'll remove this element. For this section, I want to use a different color, dark color. This shape has a corner radius. I don't actually want to use it, so I'm going to remove the corner radius. And I'm going to push this up. This text, I feel like it could use a different color, like our pink color. And let's replace this image. There's multiple websites you can use to find free images, some of them Pexel images or Unsplash, or if you have a Canva Pro. All right, and I feel like I want to add something more. I also want to add the style we've been using before. Okay, let's try it. Let's try copy that. Okay, this is our commitment. Align this to the right like this, and I want to make sure that it aligns with the rest of our copy. Looking good. This shape over here, I think Squarespace has the same shape available. Design shapes. Let's see what kind of shapes it has. We can use this shape. Okay, so change of the plans, but I still like the split layout. To keep that, I'm gonna add a different shape. In Squarespace, there is a shape block, which is just a block of color. And I'm gonna expand it all the way, then send it to the back and make this pink color. Beautiful. And for this 1, 2, 3, I would also switch up the shapes, replace them with exactly the same shapes I used earlier. When you're using a template, you can actually remove any sections that you don't need. And if you're planning on using this section later, use this like icon to reuse it later. Now I can simply remove this section. And if I ever need to reuse that again, click add a section, navigate to saved sections and reuse it. This section for news and blog, I'm gonna replicate exactly the same structure of this heading. It's important that you replicate elements throughout sections and other pages. Each page shouldn't feel like it's a new website, so it should be something recognizable. What I realize now that we're using this shape here, but then we use a completely different shape here, and it actually creates inconsistency. So I want to replace this shape. I'm not going to use the shape at all. I will copy this. and place it here. I will remove this shape. As I was speaking about consistency, I noticed that by using those two different shapes, it creates inconsistency. It's better if we use the same shape for images. And let's replace it with a different image. And let's finish customizing this area. Replace this with our logo, add an image, and then we have the logo. We'll remove this. Instead of this shape, again, I will use, the only thing that I feel like I want to adjust the color of it. What about if it's, yeah, this is better. And I'm gonna highlight this text. We need to adjust it. And this also has to be white so we can actually read it. It actually does stand out better. And now as we're done customizing, let's take a final look at what we have here. So this is a home page of our newly edited template. If you found this video helpful, let me know in the comments below. And if your business needs a website and you want to save time and skip all of the guessing, check out the templates. I will link them below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.